pushing. Both teams have walked to their positions. There's been no argy-bargy, no pushing and shoving, none of that sort of false bravado. I think they both know the discipline of actually putting the body on the line when the first contest comes. That's what they're all about.
Well, I think Tom Hawkins heard you.
Maybe spoke too soon.
Wouldn't Geelong love him to play a big game? Ray's on the scene.
Fisher has gone to Chapman, and I thought Rook might have taken him in a defensive forward role. Rook's lined up against Raphael Clark.
And that roar reverberates around this stadium. We're underway. Clash of the top two, both undefeated. Mumford got a hand to it. Graham taken down strongly. In comes Hayes. Bit of a skirmish.
And Cam Mooney came in really hard off the line.
Not unexpected.
Jones has gone to Ablett.
Gardner locks up with Mumford. Eventually, Mumford got a hand clear, spills out of the pack. Joel Corey, Bartell, Dunaward's half forward. Chapman checking off the ball. Had it knocked away by Fisher. Raph Clark in front. Chapman almost beat a couple. Close to the boundary line. Stokes. An Irish whip into the fence.
It's an interesting matchup of Fisher on Chapman. I mean, Chapman's a good mark of the footy. Fisher's going to trouble him in the air, clearly.
So Mumford, who starts today, Goddard, Gilbert, good sidestep, and then with a long kick to centre wing, Revolt couldn't quite get to the mark and then couldn't take the half volley. It was a difficult one. Enright getting it back from Taylor, and then Harley. Now they turned it over here unusually. Clark, just a handful of games this year, coming back today. Graham, gee, that's a bad miss by Cozzy.
That miss was bad enough, but the first one was the miss of Milne. Milne actually had run into space at half forward.
So the four-time All-Australian with a job on one of the informed forwards in the competition. The Scarlett retreats and back to Harley.
And the problem for the Saints too, Kozeski compounded his error by giving away the free kick. Here's Burns, who's been in splendid form. 15 goals in his last 5 games. It took him 3 seasons to get 15. Down goes Harley. Strong tackle. Milne. Taken by Jones. First goal of the afternoon.
Now, it's a fantastic win by St Kilda in terms of it's the first time Geelong have had a chance to set up our defence. Pete Jones has got the Ablett match-up, but the tackling pressure, which has been a highlight of the St Kilda's performance the whole year. I guess as soon as the ball went low to Harley, it was a great tackle. But it's just a win for Jones, even though he's the close checker on Ablett. When you get a goal, all of a sudden Ablett has to worry about him a little bit.
I was in the rooms before the game. Tom Harley took them out and said, just relax, guys, another day. But he's had an awkward start, the captain.
It's been a nervous start, really, for both sides. Even St Kilda, when they had control of the ball going forward, they didn't do what they could have done.
And that's a bonus. Jones getting a goal early. He's got the mammoth job on Ablett. Dal Santo with a clearance. Schneider and Mackey back to Revolt. And then the left foot wasn't pretty, but he's got it inside 50 to Milne. Back Montagna off one step. He had a lot more time than that. Turned it over to Bartell. Geelong love to go up the corridor, and they're about to do so. Selwood's little one. Missed though by Stokes. Gilbert, and now Fisher to set it up for the Saints. Well, he can almost go all the way here. He's given it a ride. Milne waits, but rules come from nowhere.
Inside. Straight out. Hurry, just here, mate.
And the captain kicks the second. What an explosive start.
It's been a nervous start by the Cats too. Selwood missing that kick to Burn in the middle of the ground. That forced the turnover. And then that is a great sign there, right there for St Kilda though. Fisher running off half-back and kicking the ball into the attacking zone. We know how courageous Nick Revolt is. He goes back with the flight of the ball and takes marks. He's done that right throughout his career. That is just a spectacular jump and leap, and there is nothing a defender can do to stop that.
The first mark for St Kilda this afternoon, certainly a memorable one. The captain going back with a flight of the ball, not the first time. It gives him a total of 123 for this season. And bear in mind, last week they were goalless in the opening term against the Tigers. Amazing. A bit of stimulation as this ball floats down towards half forward from Goddard. Fisted in front by Mackey, taken by Jones. Goes back to Goddard. Goddard on the wing. Spearing kick. Oh, what a beauty. Kazitsky. Man on the mark is on the 50. Interesting matchup that, Harley and Milne. Kazitsky, though, hoping to bypass the pair. It'll take a good kick from here. Kicks from 55. Has it got the carry? This will be touch and go. Well, it just fell to a man standing there. It was one of those drive-past goals. Gardner.
Well, that's always... they've certainly started St Kilda quite obviously. They got the 3 first goals onto the scoreboard, but that goal line mistake, I mean, the ball was just clearly there to be knocked through. But somehow, I don't know, it looked a lot like it bounced off the post, but nevertheless, the goal's been allowed.
Oh, I reckon it did bounce off the post.
Bounced off the post. Nevertheless, it's on the scoreboard.
Turns 30 today, as we said. Well, he's had a birthday present there. I think that looked like it came off the post, didn't it?
And at the moment, Geelong are just being smashed around these stoppages. Early days yet, but they just can't get their hands on the ball.
Goddard's kick was telling, wasn't it? From half back. So a 3-goal lead here. Chapman got it from Munford to half forward. Gilbert. So a couple of early touches. He ran out of bounds. It'll come back.
Got a feeling he deliberately ran out of bounds. That's one way of that subtle. Taking the ball out, take a step over the line and pretend to kick it.
Looks like Rook may actually now be playing that defensive role on Fisher too.
Munford and Gardner. Graham. Well, he's got a fair bit on that. Revolt. Well, he's in sparkling early form, the captain. Inboard. McWalter. Graham in trouble.
Too long. Too long. Go. On the full. Joel Selwood. Go. That's it.
Joel Selwood at half back then. Certainly a controversial last goal to the Saints. It appeared to bounce off the post. Back to Michael Gardner. Mackey. Selwood pushing through midfield. Straight into Schneider. Vacant goal square. Montagna running back. Montagna is 30 metres in the clear. He's let it run on too far. Now he's got a problem. Milne dragged down. They saved the day.
Hold it.
It hit the post, did it?
Hold it.
I think it might have.
Hit post. He hasn't signalled yet. That's why.
A fumble onto the post. Montagna wanted that ball to sit, and it would not.
And another kicking error by Selwood too in the middle of the ground.
When Geelong have the ball in this part of the ground, there's going to be a lot of St Kilda bodies in the centre square. They're going to concede it, allow the outside space, but just protect the centre square.
So Ling with a long one. They've got some numbers here, the Cats. Bartel to Stokes. And then Stokes' kick trying to penetrate. Dawson taking no chances. Awkward ball for Blake. He'll be happy for it to go out.
That was a really interesting kick then too from Ling off half back, because they know that Geelong press. They come up really high and force you into a situation where you're going to have trouble finding space. They kick the ball long, and that's where the space was over the back.
Blake on the ground. Hayes' little handball didn't go far. Enright back to Corey. Back inside the 50. Varco and Gilbert. He's had a good start, Gilbert. He's had a very good season. A good 2 or 3 seasons. That kick, Kazitsky leaves it for Milne. Scarlett committed. Little give by McWalter. Jones clever. McWalter's little kick. Cossey's got it.
1 more metre, Darren. 1 metre.
McWalter runs on. Kazitsky thinks about it.
Darren, where your left foot is. Thank you. There.
Well, in Queensland, they've really just handled this early game pressure tremendously well. They just are thinking their way through the pressure situations. Their skills have been good. All of a sudden, it's the Geelong team that are just looking like the pressure of the occasion. They haven't quite got their rhythm yet.
He's been accurate this year, Kazitsky. 31-10 before today. Now, his first shot was a good one He was just a little bit too far out. This one he struck perfectly. So the big guns are kicking goals and the Saints are away.
Well, they've only taken 4 marks so far, 2 of them to Kaczynski and 2 of them to Rebold, so that's a great sign for St Kilda when they get the ball inside their half. There's McQuarrie. That was really intelligent use of the ball there to the space to Cozzy, but we've already seen Sam Fisher running off half-back and rebounding, Gilbert running off half-back and rebounding too, so the Cats are able to get the ball in their forward line, but they haven't been able to lock that in. And that's a wonderful finish by Kaczynski, because when you are in control like this, you need to nail those goals.
Almost a look of resignation on the face there of Bomber Thompson. Right now, his men looking too lazy to work and too nervous to steal. This is a remarkable start to the game. Blake goes up, knocks it down. Joel Corey back to Blake. Blake kicks inside the forward 50. In front, St Kilda. Blake just chips it to Dawson, short of half back. So far, they've had all the answers. They, the Saints, look like the season campaigners. Dawson goes out very wide, right on the boundary. McAvoy in place of Gardner. Massive crowd. Short. Well, everything coming off.
Right there, Mark's in.
Lenny Hayes. Montagna runs into a dead end, tries to go back to Hayes, a fumble. Stokes stood his ground, got a hand pass away. Forward by Bartell, unable to handle it in right. Loose ball, Saints around the footy. Socket off the ground by Jones, tracks his own ball. Good aggressive running. Jones picks it up just inside the line, runs to the defensive 50. No one really to kick it to. Not a bad effort. Over the head of Hogan. Del Santo. Now that's a lot of Cats.
That is a lot of Cats, and Del Santo has been picked up by Ling too. When the ball was at the other end of the ground, Del Santo took the ball right, or took himself right into the forward line and made it a long run between him and Ling to the ball.
Burns from Chapman. It's a good tap by Blake. In right on the up to Ablett, to Kelly, to Milburn. They're trying to build, and they do. To Rook, still in the heart of the centre square. Rook unloads. Hawkins in a good spot. Well done. Blake building it away. 9 months in footy. I think last night the Premier were outscored 9 goals to 0 in the opening quarter, and at the moment it's 4-0 with the other preliminary finalists doing it to the grand finals.
I'd be very pleased with his first 10 minutes of Jones on Ablett. Jones has been prepared to leave Ablett to go and help his teammates, and they haven't been in the centre square yet, I don't think. Certainly the last 2 or 3.
Geary was the third man up there. McAvoy was the target. Enright, good one. Rook inside, and within distance, you would think.
He's been dangerous in the last couple of minutes, just finding space and holes.
And he can kick a goal. He's kicked more goals this season than in any other Rook. In fact, he kicked a goal in each of the first 10 rounds this season, so they need it here, the Cats. Tight angle. It's not going to be that major.
Timely fist from Goddard. Now Geelong need to find a goal here. Interesting view of the action. Boundary throw in. Blake laid it down. Ball. Hogan. Hand pass in hope. Plenty of Saints around the footy. Blake gave it to Del Santo. They work it away back to Blake. Now, Fisher involved. Sends it towards the outer side. Half-back flank over the top. Milburn. Too easy. Set up for him. Boundary throw in. 24 points the margin midway through the term on a Sunday afternoon at Etihad Stadium. A lot of Australia waiting for this one. Now it's on. It started in unexpected fashion. Charging the pack down there. Dawson got a fist on it. Knocked it outside the defensive 50. Goddard went to ground. Ablett gave it to Burns. Varco. Little look away hand pass. Stokes to the middle. Can Chapman mark it? Well, Chapman had hands in the back.
Hand in the back. Stephen Baker, hand in the back.
He's wounded too. He's hurt himself, Baker. So Del Santo takes it. Careful kicking style of Del Santos. Harley should pick it off, and he does. Geelong getting good numbers at the moment. I know they're 4 goals down. Chapman kicks to the pocket. And again, Gilbert having a wonderful opening turn.
Just saw Harley on Geary too. Geary's instruction is to move up the ground. What they're trying to do is they're isolating Harley so that he can't give back and help out Scarlett and also Harry Taylor. David Parker, the interested onlooker there.
The men who have captained and coached a premiership team.
Come on, guys, Hilton.
And certainly in his first half of the first quarter, the St Kilda defensive mechanisms are more than holding up.
Well done, Blake, but only as far as Ray. Fisher so important in the St Kilda structure. Doesn't want to give it up. He's got nowhere to go, really. He's going to have to draw some players to him. Montagna, who leads the competition in long kicks, and that was a magnificent one.
Yeah, one target to go to, and he hit him.
Might have dropped his first chance, but the last couple have been telling. In short. Ball feeds it back towards centre half back. Fisher. Saints controlling the game. Up by 24. And feeling good about themselves. Dawson. Ralph Clark. Half distance kick. Graham continues along the line. Blake has got it now at the interchange gates. Not much up ahead, so Blake maybe will kick down towards the 50. Well, which one? He goes back. Ralph Clark. Need to be careful, not 15. It was an early call. Strong tackle by Burns. And the ball sandwiched between the pair.
Down to you, Ricky.
Just an update on Stevie Baker. Copped a nasty cork in the quad in that last marking contest. He's come off the ground for a rest. Got an important role, though, picking up the small forwards of Geelong.
Blake winning a lot of taps. Ablett did very well to hold up in the tackle, and then Bartel just tapped it down to Ling, and Del Santo coming from nowhere. Now it's not much advantage here, but they've played it. And Milburn, good tackle. Schneider took him down. Hayes inboard. Schneider's little gift. Del Santo, can he deliver? He was under pressure. Cozzy on the up. The handball's good. Gardner doesn't get a lot on it. Revolt can't quite get to Bartel. He put pressure on him. Kelly, Bartel, Selwood, Ling. Pressure. Gardner got a tap on it. Fisher goes for goal and kicks it. That will hurt.
Pre-game, we showed some vision, Lee, of the Cats taking that kick and going inside. Ling tried to take that kick again. Geelong aware of that. They forced the turnover. And here's the kick from Ling. Tries to force a kick in there. They like to stay inside the corridor. They don't like to go outside the corridor. That's where they like to attack from half-back. But Fisher read that particularly well then.
Margin out to 5 goals. Mike Thompson, just for the moment, at his wits' end. Can't believe the start his men have made. It's been pretty insipid. Gardner out of the middle, back on the ground after his rest. Up goes Milburn, got a fist to it. Selwood in trouble, arches the back, fell to ground. Hot one from Mackey. He's over the football. Mackey taken down, Selwood goes after it. Revolt got a boot on it. Ling fed it back. Enright over the top. Real pressure now. Corey went back towards the boundary. Revolt left the ball behind. Ling goes in at close quarters to Kelly. Kelly a sweeping hand pass across the front of goal. Milburn trying to clear the zone. Kicks it out towards the defensive 50. Scarlett did well. Goes with the side foot up towards the wing. Pursues his own ball. Picked up beautifully by Fisher. Comes back to Ralph Clark. Missed the mark. Plenty of time. Not 15. Ray. He gets away. Across the ground is Gilbert. He'll use him now. Gilbert meters in the clear. He can run at them. More trouble for Geelong. Gilbert through midfield. Goes looking for Revolt. Well, Revolt slipped as he approached that ball. Loose at the back. Geary. Schneider. He just missed.
It was curling. Well, So much heat on Geelong in the back 50, isn't there?
Well, St Kilda's pressure at the moment, Geelong just are not coping with the energy and the pressure that is being imposed on the footy, anywhere near the footy.
Sam Fisher's already had 8 touches more than any player on the ground. That's a bad sign for Geelong. They're going to have to clamp down on him.
Goddard was terrific.
Behind his back. Stephen Mills, right, and he's back in here.
So against Enright, and the good thing from the Saints' point of view, they're actually putting it on the board too. Not only are they dominating now, they're actually getting reward on the scoreboard.
Same number of inside 50s if they're 10 apiece.
On the ball. I asked you to take him out, and you didn't take him out. It's not my fault. No, I told Goddard to take him out, he didn't. It's not my fault. Mark's there.
Gee, the game's changed. Selwood's kicked wide. Mooney.
Not yet, not yet.
Can he impose himself? Ablett leads, so they pushed Ablett forward.
They just control the centre corridor in their back 50 so well. St Kilda, they've done it so far this year, and they're certainly doing it again today.
Wanted to take Jones on. Jones was up for it. Now Burns. See, they're flirting with danger. And that's another big win for the Saints.
Straight back this way, guys.
They had 16 players back then, St Kilda, defending that part of the ground.
Umpire Pozzo. The coaches look on. Line working hard, still working those phones. Joel Corey, Stokes goes back in. Right, who's been industrious. 7 possessions. This makes 6 for Selwood. That's better.
That's better. That was great vision then from Selwood.
You're right.
He was standing in that hole for maybe that 5 seconds, and it was a matter of could any Geelong player get the footy and have the awareness and the skill just to pop it on his head. And it was Selwood. He's just got fantastic vision. He sees exactly what's ahead of him, and Burns was clearly on.
Shannon Burns has been lighting it up recently. This one working back left to right, but it stays left for the high.
Mightn't be their day, you know. He hasn't missed from a set shot this year, Burns, until now. 6 for 6.
That's Geelong's 9th inside 50 entry for 2 behinds.
So Goddard to Hayes. McWalter did well. Dawson, Graham.
Cool.
See, that was cool.
Gardner.
And now Gardner's on from Gilbert. He's made it. So he'll wait. Gilbert's running hard inside. Revolt stationary for the moment. Gardner called to go on. Now Gardner puts it up in the revolt direction. Mackie with him for the moment. Corey got back really well.
Mark's here.
Dangerous kick. Marked by Hogan. Just his second game, as we said. He's coming for Steve Johnson. Mackie got rid of it in a hurry. Bartell to Burns. They push forward, but Fisher has been the outstanding player in the opening term. Marks at half-back.
Saw him moments ago get his first goal of the season, the 10th of his career. He's doing it at both ends. Goes to the outer side. There'll be umpire Del Santo. Got it from Blake. Just feeds it back outside. Fisher very deliberately places it onto the boot. Goddard, Del Santo pushes between 2 cats. Kicks inside the forward 50. Joel Corey's in the road. Comes back to Chapman. Can they mount something here? Stokes cruising past Taylor. Back to Stokes. Stokes is running hard. Goes beyond the wing. Varco. It was intended for Ablett. Chipping in was Gilbert. Getting a hand pass away. Jones. Well done, Blake. Taken by Baker. Goes wide looking for Gardner, but it runs away from him and goes out of bounds.
Just have a look at the moment, Geelong, that when they do go into their forward 50, they haven't really got a forward who looks like able to win a contest, and the St Kilda defence just keeps clearing it.
Knocked down in front by Geelong, but picked up by Goddard over the top. Farron Reyes running out of defence, and McAvoy meters in the clear. The Cats are getting carved up like a magician's assistant at the moment.
Revolt, the target. Terrific second effort. Well done, Mackie, who's actually on Revolt. Here's Taylor. Back to Milburn. Just need a goal, the Cats. Just to kick-start themselves here. They're getting plenty of the ball. Ling, well, that's just symbolic of what's been happening. McWalter with a bit of time to think about it. Fisher. Baker. Well, Stevie Baker hasn't kicked a goal this year either. Misses. Should have drilled it.
Hold it.
Well, have a look at that. Maybe he's couldn't have a good look at the goal.
His GPS was out.
Yep.
Got blood rule, okay?
So Baker comes from the ground. But this pressure from St Kilda.
It's been brilliant, and this is the way they began the season too, St Kilda. I reckon they've dropped off maybe in the last month or so. Ross Lyon said as much during the week, but they are primed in the early stages of this game. And I don't think that Geelong have actually got themselves settled enough.
Oh, no.
And
Thank you.
they appear to be rattled, and Bomber Thompson, I'm sure he's thinking as he sits in the coach's box that quarter-time break just can't come quickly enough for him.
So Milburn going for distance. Bartell almost falls in front. Chapman stood there, did well. Again, great pressure. Graham applied a tackle. Hand pass came from wing though. Kicked up towards the wing by Chapman. Stokes. Ablett is moving. He goes in that direction. Why not? Stars attract the footy, but he wins the footy. Ablett's away, and now he's getting 50. Oh, the barest of touches.
I think he played on. I think he was very unlucky, Jones.
So the first goal about to be registered for the Cats after a long wait, 2.5 minutes from quarter time. In controversial fashion, he puts it through.
Well, they just looked like they needed just a little bit of good fortune to get on the scoreboard, and certainly I think that was it. He was certainly looking to come inside Ablett, and Jones just covered him a little bit. It's a very, very minor hold-up. Just the grab of the arm was either play on or a 50-metre penalty, and the umpire chose the 50-metre penalty.
He didn't really retard him in any way, did he?
No, that's true.
Maybe the lucky break the Cats were looking for. They were going forward. It was a sellout a couple of weeks ago. Over 50,000 under the roof, and Geelong get their first goal. It's very deep into this opening term. Jones sort of hacked it forward with a hand pass, if that makes sense. It went about 30 metres. Chapman's been busy, put himself into the centre square. Ablett. Ball had the first look at it, then Geary. They've been quite happy to switch it up, and they've done it well. Schneider's on from Montagna. And Schneider can wait for it and then go. Decides to kick straight away to Revolt. Taylor with him, and Revolt went to ground, so that's a good win for Taylor. Back inboard, Bartell. Going to ground, Fisher. Looks like Rook's gone there to him. He's gone, Rook.
You had a prior opportunity, went to go it, and then he grabbed you. You could have got it out before then. Told the ball up again.
It's a tough nut, Rook, but a moment ago we saw the closing speed of Harry Taylor too on Revolt. Revolt looked like had him done, but his ability just to gather him over the last couple of steps.
He might be tough, Tim, but he won't talk the umpire out of his decision.
Milburn stood still and lost everybody. Kick was smothered, gave it to Hogan eventually, who drives around the outer side, bounces close to the boundary, knocked across by Fisher. They had to do something about Fisher, so Rook has gone there now. Fisher 11 possessions so far. So boundary throw in, approaching quarter time. Blake has done well decisively. Down to Ablett to Varco. Varco is through. Varco 35 metres out. He's going to get another chance. He missed the initial shot. It's a high tackle, not a relayed free kick.
You want the free kick or the point?
Well, even I could answer that.
I just asked him, does he want the point or the free kick?
That's a hard decision.
Yeah. Well, if you were stuck for an answer, you'd be dropped next week.
Hang on, can I phone a friend?
So Varco, his confidence is on the rise in recent games. This would be nice. Against everything that's happened, Geelong have kicked a couple.
And I think, as we can see, the game has stabilised. Geelong have got the last couple of goals, but the game stabilised about the last 10 minutes. Obviously, St Kilda just blew them out of the water in the first 10 minutes of that quarter, and they've got the lead. The 3-goal lead is a good margin, but I think now the game has stabilised. It's a question of what happens. Ablett started to get a bit of the ball. Bartel has been good, and all of a sudden, the contest that we wanted is here.
A productive couple of minutes for the Cats here. Varco's goal on the back of Ablett's. And the margin closing. Steve Johnson not playing today. He played 58 consecutive games. Hip injury. Geelong had won 55 of those 58. Ablett from Blake was a beautiful tap. Clark, well, looked like he had it covered. Gilbert and Fisher, they've been so good down back. And Goddard also. Doesn't need a lot of the ball to make things happen. Goddard's kick is okay. Finds Geary. They'll probably want to sit on it now, the Saints. Gilbert. Blake. Well, what a stunning opening we've seen. Massive build-up to this game. It's hasn't been this week. It's been literally for weeks and weeks and weeks as they've been counting down. And the Saints kicked the first 5 goals. But the Cats did come back. And at quarter time, you can cut the excitement with a knife right now. It's 5-2, 33-14. This is Sunday footy.
Well, it hurt them in the grand final up forward.
It looks like they've gone back to only the one big guy. Hawkins is going to start the second quarter on interchange, so Mooney and that medium-sized brigade. Gee, they'd love Steve Johnson to be there just about this point.
I'd say. And if you were selling it to the Cats at quarter time, you'd be saying what a wonderful win this could be. If they come back from here, or where they were halfway through the term, then they really make a statement. Not beyond them. Bad bounce. Gardner to Jones. Ling. Hurriedly onto the boot. Raf Clark in best position, got a fist on it, helped on its way by Del Santo. Crashing the pack, Ablett taken to ground. Bartel has got it. Hayes has got him. Jimmy eventually released it. Ablett, Corey to half forward. Well, 4 fists up. Chapman in front. Knocked it Geelong's way. Graham's over the football. A big scramble at right half forward, and the umpire will brawl it up. The umpires this afternoon, Dizzo, Roseberry and Chamberlain, and congratulations to them too, because they must be the best getting this one.
Blake did well when he came on in the first quarter in the ruck. Stokes to Ablett, to Corey, to Harley. Good sidestep, and then high ball in. Gardner's got his eyes on it. Well, Clark didn't really help him in a way. Del Santo to Blake. So some pressure on the Saints early. Good kick by Blake. Found Dawson.
Graham's running.
You've seen him now. He's a good kick, Dawson, isn't he? So Graham is the #1 player for taking the ball inside the 50 for the Saints. To McWalter. His forward pressure's been a key to their success this year, McWalter. Good kick. And nobody takes more marks than Revolt on the burst.
And what's been really impressive about the way Geelong have actually been played by St Kilda in their forward line, they've been able to break up their back 6. They've been able to take them and disperse them to different parts of the ground, which has opened up the space for them when they have gone forward.
So Kazicki and Revolt a couple between them in the opening term. It's a difficult kick. She's done a good job. He struck it beautifully.
That's nice, isn't it? Like conventional goal, but it was a really good kick by McWalter. He held on to the footy, and I guess as soon as Rewald got a 2 or 3 metre break, it was only a matter of could the kick be soft enough out into his path, but really that's a really good conversion. 45 metres, pretty acute angle, great finish.
Doing well, the 2 big forwards for the Saints.
Started the game with a great mark, then a great kick right there. This game on tune. Brilliance in the grandstand, just looking on. He can't help his mates now. Blake won it down. Gardner. Good second effort towards half forward. Ricochets off Mackey. Back inside the centre square. Jones tackled by Ablett. Mackey stood his ground. Coming front on was Schneider.
Just play, Clint, don't wave your arms.
Interesting mini contest going down in Geelong's forward line. Rook is trying to get to Fisher. Fisher's trying to get to Chapman. It's a little contest within itself down there.
Blake is doing okay in these tap-outs, although Gardner wins this one decisively into the path of Hayes, tackled by Bartel. Comes out, Ablett's over the ball, Goddard over him, Selwood left it behind. Joel Corey at the base of that pack.
Footy, he didn't dive on it, he was trying to win the footy.
When I see these pack situations and someone lying on the footy, in the back is one of the primary rules of the game, surely. There's about 3 blokes sitting on his back.
Umpire Chamberlain bounces it again. Falls to Goddard. Oh, caught that, Jimmy. Selwood goes after it. Oh, Stokes could have almost got a free. Well done, Hogan. Gave it across to Blake. Blake floats it down towards half forward. Now there's holding. And Cam Mooney will get a free. I venture to say too far out to score. Although...
Well, he quickly goes on. Rooks the target. Big fly. Spread the pack. Hogan and Burns lurking. Still with Hogan. Going for goal. And across. 4 behind.
Fascinating battle unfolding in the midfield too. When these two sides met in the finals last year, Geelong just completely out-muscled St Kilda, but they've really improved in that area, and it's become a real arm wrestle.
So Del Santo. Little one wide. Fisher.
Oh, there, Joel!
As Lee said, Rook's been desperate to try and get to Fisher, but Blake's been covering for Fisher, and Fisher's been going to Chapman. He set so much up early, didn't he, Fisher? Including that goal. So Blake's free kick. They started with Mumford, the Cats, but Blake's been very good. Back to Mackey. Just plays with a long one, and then Gilbert had a fair bit of it and then runs off. Back to Montagna. Montagna's kick's a beauty. Wide. McWalter, because he's on here. Now you look up and see Revolt in a one-on-one. Revolt takes off. He decides not to go there. He's going to wait for reinforcements.
There's great running by Selwood. Graham was just running to the open space, but Selwood just put his head down, got to him.
So decides to go long, and then Taylor gets rid of Revolt and paves the way for Mackey.
And that's where they're good. That third man up in a contest, Geelong.
Mackey drives it to the opposite pocket, and Ling. Mooney is moving. He's got it. They need him. As you can see, a long way from goal.
And a lot of bodies in the centre square. They've just got to make sure Geelong cannot get through that centre square attack, which is their favourite method.
Not a bad result if it goes out. It does. It was intended. Low down and hard to Varco. We spoke about the massive crowd.
They've been told it's the biggest ever for an AFL game. Officially at the moment it's over 54,000, which breaks the previous best of 53.5 for Carlton Hawthorn a couple of years ago.
Here at the Dome, or Etihad Stadium. There's Hayes. Kicks beyond the wing, down towards half forward. Revolt approaches it. Harry in his hip pocket. Revolt turn that hip pocket inside out. Runs back on the footy. Kicks inside the forward 50. Kazetsky almost. Mackey under the hammer. Loose ball at the back. Picked up by McWalter. Down he went. Was that in the back? Over the top of Kelly was Montagna. Kelly somehow got the ball out. Chance for Goddard. Came strongly. Bouncing off a would-be tackler, Selwood. Gave it to Kelly. Stokes. Kelly. Now they can build. Ling reels it back in like a fisherman. Drives from half back towards the outer side. Oh! Terrific mark by Rook. Wants to go. Running hard as Chapman. Can Blake get there in time? No. Chapman, will he go? Nobody in the square. Clever kick. It comes back towards Cam. And the Camster launched himself.
No.
You've got to go back and kick it.
Well, you're going to have to earn every metre of space today.
Goes to Bartel.
That ball that Selwood won at half-back was just outstanding. That got them going.
and the Rook contested mark, and even Chapman's mark was virtually a contest. There was two St Kilda players closing. I mean, the pressure on this, every contest and every player with the footy is what the guys have to cope with, and they're great standard game under that pressure.
You'd like your cholesterol to read as low as the confidence in terms of Cam Mooney kicking at goal. If you could register that and somehow measure it, Cam is at 0-0, I reckon.
Yeah, it's hard to say that Bartel had better percentages than Mooney, probably about half.
Cam's probably looking at Jimmy and saying, I could have done that.
And when you get the ball, if you're Jimmy, it's probably a bit sweaty coming from Cam.
Del Santos kicks off the hook a bit there. Geelong had worked so hard for that shot at goal, hadn't they? Here's Schneider, and on his Milne. Now this could be interesting. You know he'll take off. Does the right thing. In short to McWalter. Well, you don't see that too often. Geelong were opened up there, weren't they?
Well, basically what happens when there's a full zone protecting the kick in, if you can maintain possession and move the ball reasonably quickly, McWalter really come from one flank to the other to get into the space in between the zone.
He's kicked a goal in 10 of his 13 matches this year. His forward pressure's been terrific. He leads the Saints in tackles inside the 50. He struck that well, and the Saints get the first two of the second term.
Well, their kicking's been outstanding right from the word go today. Their field kicking, but their set shots as well. But the way they moved this ball forward, they got inside, or they got outside the zone. The Geelong players had actually moved up. It was a 15-man zone, so they actually had left Milne free. And once you can actually break that zone and get the ball over the top of it, you can find some free players to actually pass the ball to, and that's exactly what they did. And then that was an intelligent kick then too by Milne to find McWalter. He's had 10 touches too, McWalter. He's been a busy player in the early stages of this game.
That can be the problem. You lock down on the big names, and suddenly those other fellas, the anonymous players, get loose. Bartel, Ablett has been given no peace. Ling trying to get the arms free. Jones did well, holding the ball against Ling. Careful.
Gee, they've gone after Ling, haven't they? Every time he's got control of the ball, they've been on to him. They're forcing him to hurry his possession.
Kick inside the forward 50. Mark is taken by Scarlett. Scarlett comes away then. Telling kick. Burns having a hold up. Wants to go. The movement coming from Chapman. He's marked about 55 metres out. Mooney goes to the pocket. Awkward half volley coming up. Can he keep it in? Was he pushed to the back? No. And no. It's out of bounds. We'll have a throw in.
And they've slowed Geelong down, St Kilda, this afternoon as much as any side has. And go back to the finals last year, Hawthorn, that was their theme going into the grand final, about the shark and just slowing it down.
So Del Santo over the top of it.
He didn't dive on it. He drilled in with his head down, but thanks, Mickey.
Hawkins back on for the Cats. Mumford did well, and here is Ling. And I think it might be a mark to Fisher. Just inside the line. He's going to go for Gilbert or Ray. Take your pick. Good effort there by Hawkins. He's just come off the interchange. Got the ball out. Del Santo was terrific. Inboard Blake skip to Gilbert to Ray. A bounce. Stretching Geelong here. Kicking to Revolt, but just a bit wide. But don't they love it, those Saints fans?
We're seeing the one Achilles heels of that Geelong midfield. When the opposition get the ball, they can get run away from winning in the first place. That's the challenge.
After the boundary throw in, Blake did well. Joel Corey, was he held without it? Somehow got it out to Enright. Hogan trying to step the late fantastic there, going nowhere either, and they'll have a ball up. This noise is remarkable, as we said, in excess of 54,000. Haven't heard it like this before. It's just reverberating, as I said earlier, around the stadium. Enright goes back to Bartel. Bartel to Ling. Just staying off the pack. Enright, or rather Corey. A couple of them actually. Corey was the chosen one, and Ling Got it from Hogan and just popped it across to Enright. Enright comes back towards the middle. Got there in time. Varco. Beautiful hand pass. Mackey. Rook. Varco. Forced to hold up. Precision. Milburn.
That is Geelong at its best. Its absolute best. Forcing that kick back into the corridor. It's a dangerous kick. It was executed well, and then that opened up the space for them. Again, Varco, good ball control.
Well, a bit riding on this kick. So far, their goal kickers Gary Ablett and Travis Varco. A couple of defenders have come forward to kick goals for the Saints. Milburn does that for Geelong.
Yes, I think whenever you're playing against Geelong, one of the nightmares is that Mackey will push up off half-back and actually be the guy flowing through the front of the centre square, because he's a beautiful kick of the footy. He normally makes the right decision, executes well, but just maybe that was the first time they've ever actually been able to attack through the centre square with a bit of time and space in about a quarter and a half of footy.
It was a really adventurous kick to Varco too. It had to hit because they were going to be rebounded on if it didn't.
Well, he's the old guy on the Geelong side. What a great player he's been, getting close to 250. It's his second goal this season. He got a goal last week, Milburn. Yeah, Varco's kick very important. And that bounce probably could have come back. We'll try again.
He's inside the circle, guys. Coming straight back here, guys. Coming straight back.
So a 4-goal game. Clark. Still Clark. Now Montaigne. Over the top. Had Archie's back, Hayes. Little give because he couldn't get down. And then Burns paddling towards the line. He and Montaigne exchange pleasantries. Both in career best form. Montaigne all season, and certainly Burns over the last 4 or 5 weeks. He's a premiership player, Burns. There's 17 of them out there for the Cats today. Just the one for their Saints, and that was Schneider at Sydney. Good tackle on by Chapman on Baker. And now Ball getting it and then kicking inside the 50. Revolt made a big effort.
Ball's been quiet, just the 3 possessions. Throw it in, inside the 50 then. Blake in front, directs it down. Hayes, desperation, launched himself after that one, but there was matching desperation from 2 Cats. And the umpire will do it again. Well, when it's Selwood, it's always going to be tough to win a loose ball. About 30 metres out from goal then. Plenty of space goal side. Hogan to Selwood. Comes away. Selwood took them on. Chapman over the top. Selwood lost the GPS. Ball close to the line. Chapman over the top. Pushing the back. Goes against Schneider. The idea was right from Chapman. Just to lay it up in front of Selwood.
You just settle. Let me worry about that, okay? You settle down.
Too much concern. Chapman, left half back. Kicks it up to the wing. Mooney attracts a crowd. 3 Saints up with him. Goddard still got the crumb. That's remarkable. To Ray, to Baker. Blake, time bounce, plenty of time. Short one, half volley. Dawson goes back to Blake. Varco's got him, holding the ball.
It's been important, Varco. Now Mooney looking up. Long kick, Ablett. And plays on and kicks the goal. Why? Who knows? But it is Ablett.
Yes, why is a very good question. But the chase down tackle, St Kilda put that on Geelong early in the game, but the Varco chase down tackle, as soon as the turnovers in that part of the ground will end defences really unposition Ablett. Had Jones, Cole, I guess he's only 15 metres out, but the grubber kick seems to be the fashion at this point of footy.
Funny shaped ball, ours, isn't it?
Well, he is what he is. He's a jam. Jams do that sort of stuff.
Well, he's got Jones now playing at full back on him, Gary Ablett. They're 1 goal each.
Closest they've been since the 5-minute mark of the opening term. Spills across the ball, feeds it to McWalter, kicks inside the forward 50. What a beautiful kick. Tailor-made. Schneider goes in, and how's that for a quick reply?
Actually, it's been interesting to watch Schneider and McWalter and players in the smaller guys in the St Kilda forward line. They're really trying to keep moving to use the fact that the Millbournes and players of that ilk like to play off their direct opponent. So if you can win the ball in the centre of the ground, as St Kilda did then, Schneider made sure he was right out in space on his own.
Been outstanding, McWalter, in the early part of this game. Had 11 touches and been a busy player.
Boys, disaster for Geelong. Darren Milburn's really showing out there. Appears to have a bit of a knee injury. He's looking at the bench now, needing some help. So I reckon after this centre bounce, he'll be straight to the bench for some treatment.
So that is a blow. Milburn, Kelly waiting to get on. Chapman has been busy. Rook, Ablett, held up in the tackle. Gee, that was good play by Blake to hold Rook at bay. He's a hard man, he's a raging bull. Fisher, a bit of a fumble. Varco, unlucky for him, but now Gilbert besieged. Ball still to come out. There is Milburn, as Rick told us. Those hard bodies, you want all of them out there for Geelong right now.
Here we go, boys.
So the Cats inside their 50. Blake, Varco having a busy 10 minutes. Dawson, Goddard. He's a cool cat, Goddard, playing for the Saints. And there you go. I must have blown on that ball to work it out as they work on Milburn here. Looks like it's down low a bit. Mackie back to Taylor. Taylor back to Mackie. We've talked about the way he delivers. That's why.
Now, already talked about Cam Mooney lining up the goal, but Tom Hawkins hasn't enjoyed kicking for goal from set shots all year either. I mean, he's always looking to pass the ball off. It seems to me, though, he's already decided exactly what he's going to do. He's going to go back, concentrate, get his rhythm right.
I'd like to see him kick it hard, to try and kick the ball firmly and get a bit of forward motion through his kicking action, really kick it firmly.
He's actually kicked 13 goals, 6 from set shots. That one just fading, but I'm with you. I mean, we're all with you. The fact he doesn't feel like he's had a good season at set shots. He must have missed a few out of bounds, but that one is a miss. So the Cats again get a bit of a miss there at 4-5 to 8-3. So 4-goal game still.
Del Santo short. This is Ray. Ray drives it towards half forward. Searching run for Revolt. Awkward half volley. Got his chest to take the pace off it. Enright, wing. Tries to go to Kelly. Kelly gets a fist and puts it out of bounds.
They're testing Revolt's hamstrings this afternoon, aren't they?
Because he runs hard. He just runs so hard.
Just no respite. The stadium pulsating at the moment. It's like my son's car with a stereo. You get in there, it's always on stun. No one has taken a breath watching this game. Montagna comes away. Kick comes to Bartel, coughed it up. Geary, Montagna, Bartel anxious to make amends, got back in time. Enright fed it forward. Selwood, Ablett, heard a voice. Hogan, an unfamiliar voice. Having to go here, Selwood, he's outnumbered, he keeps it in. Wonderful stuff, Joel Selwood. Pounds it back though. And Enright trying to slap it down was Hayes. Enright goes again, Montagna slides in. And the umpire has called for the footy.
Loved the way Bartelli made a hand passing error, but then he made sure he cleaned up his own mess and went and laid the tackle on Montagna.
He's had 16 disposals, Bartelli's done a lot of the hard stuff.
Fisher's been slowed. He's on 15. He had 12 at quarter time.
Hayes, so good in the clearances. Geary run down. Montagna, clever little toe poke forward. Jones getting onto it. Couldn't quite pick it up. Well done, Kelly. To Ablett, Jones's opponent. Ablett forced to go wide. Chapman, well done. It was a good kick, and Chappie honoured it. Ran hard. So Chapman now up to 14 disposals. Dangerous kick. Might open up here. Kazitsky couldn't quite get going on those legs. Chapman back to Varco. Varco might take Cosi on here. over the top. Kelly back to Varco. He'll be tired by now. And Gilbert puts him into the turf. Now Clark at centre wing.
Varco had to get it out of bounds is what he had to do. Here's Kazitsky. Thought about going. He's taking it all in. Mark Thompson, the kick inside the 450. Terrific mark, Bartel. The Brownlow medalist launched himself as if he came off a trampoline. Stokes, Ling on the wing. Joel Corey doesn't kick too many goals. Joel Corey spins out of trouble. He's made it hard. Good snap, miracle goal. Terrific. Well, he's got the initials for it.
Well, I think Joel Corey then, when he decided to get inside Dawson, he just didn't want to kick it. He wanted to get back inside, but I thought from memory that, oh no, that was a bad decision. But he just kept his composure and just was able to execute really well from that 40-metre range to make the goal. It looked like a certain goal, but it looked like it might not be. But Corey made it happen.
So Joel Corey come on the ground 20 seconds earlier for Mackie and kicks the goal.
What about that mark though to Bartel at centre back? I mean that was a bit of play that actually set the goal up initially.
Well, the next 5 minutes tells a tale, doesn't it? Geelong closing on the Saints. Schneider with plenty of time and wobbles it to McWalter, who've got it to Schneider earlier for goal in this quarter. McWalter's kick not so good. Good contest though from Milne. Kelly, well done. They're holding up the Cats here in the tackles. Now Taylor backtracking. Good kick though to Selwood. Geelong are coming at the Saints. Ling.
Fantastic cover defence by the St Kilda defenders. They just all left their opponents, about 3 of them, to come up to the player upfield.
Burns, Hawkins, well placed. And Gilbert there.
And the reason why McWalter's had so much of the ball this afternoon is because he's actually been picked up by Harley. Harley doesn't want to pick him up. He actually wants to go back and help the big guys. We see Harley coming off the ground at the moment. He's a smart player, McWalter.
Boundary throw in, just inside the 50 then. Tap down in front. Hogan hasn't been out of his class today. Gilbert, hand passes towards the boundary. It's out. And some of the prime movers for the Cats. Bartel 18 possessions, Selwood 14, Chapman 50, and Ablett 16. Not sure that's a good thing or a bad thing. They're working overtime, getting plenty of it. But St Kilda lead. Goddard, who's been good, smothered off the boot. Touched off the boot there of Jones. Joel Corey. Good chipper from Corey after he got it down to Ling, but stolen away by Ray. Montagna blindsided, completely unexpected. Well, what did the umpire say? It was too high. Just play on, was it? He was lucky. Montagna. Gardner comes away, lumbering, goes down towards half-forward Kazitsky. Going back is Milne, goes in that direction. Enright will need to kill it. Did well, and he's getting a free kick. Well done, Corey Enright. Sensed the danger, got to the contest.
What about the attack on the ball in the air from Nick Revolt, though? He took off from about 75 metres away, running with the flow of the ball.
Dangerous kick. Ray couldn't quite hold it up. Bartel. Well, he's been magnificent, Bartel. Ling also one of those prime movers that Dennis talking about. 14 disposals. There's Revolt.
All of those disposals have been under pressure, though, Bruce. They have attacked Cameron Ling this afternoon.
Munford won the tap. Selwood brilliant. Burns. Rook went to ground. Fisher took the mark. It's probably a silly thing to say. You almost feel like the Saints need another one before half-time. Geelong closing the gap just by a little bit in this term, but it's a giant shadow they cast, isn't it?
They can't afford to let the Cats get another one.
No. Clark, hands and knees. Jones under pressure. Ablett, well, Jones did very, very well.
Fantastic stuff by Jones. Around the boundary. Selwood came to him. High ball inside the forward 53. Cats up with Revolt. And it's out of bounds.
Bartel again getting back there to help out the backline defence. He's almost playing the role of Tom Harley this afternoon.
Small player who can jump. worth their weight in gold. Boundary throw in. Ball in trouble, way at close quarters. Revolt, Enright chesting him. Ablett can't get free.
What the great teams have second options, because Gilbert has now become the floating St Kilda defender. They're trying, Brooke is trying to make sure Fisher can't get clear, but he does a very good job also at covering for his opponent. Geelong got 2 or 3, so has St Kilda.
The tempo has been remarkable so far as the kick comes in from McWalter. Getting back, it's taken by Enright. Just pops it across to Mackey. Mackey feeds it back. Harry Taylor, dangerous kick. Chapman will need to go. Landed hard, did Chapman. Montagna got the crumb. Comes across towards Mackey. Out of there somehow by Selwood. Or was it Corey? It was Corey who got it out. Chapman goes back. Scarlett up the middle. Kelly holds it up.
And then plays on. Oh, clever by Hayes, I think, to Montagna. Just missing.
That was the one.
They are just an instinctive side, though, Geelong. It doesn't matter what stage the game is at. Their first inclination is to move on with the ball. I mean, that was a time maybe where they could have just been a little bit more composed and slowed the play down, but they want to get the game going. They want to attack even when they're in the back half.
And sometimes when you go to a dangerous place, if it comes off, it's the best place to go to.
It's just been the most magnificent exhibition of skills under pressure, because the pressure that both teams are applying is extreme, and both teams offensively are still coping.
So Kelly's kick, almost to the sanctuary of the boundary line, wasn't it? So the Cats 17 points behind. Only twice have they won in this 55 out of 58 when they've trailed at half-time, Geelong.
How often has that been?
Back, please, fellas.
On the 2 occasions, well, very rarely, you're right. They've been in front 13 out of 13 at half-time this year. They won't be today, obviously. Hayes hacking forward. Revolt almost. Dalsando got a little handball. Jones couldn't quite. Kelly over the line.
It's fantastic, isn't it?
Dalsando's pulled forward and pulled Ling deep into the pitch, which is, I suspect, where St Kilda like that match.
Revolt threw his body in again there. Down goes Joel Corey, and that ball stays in.
Thanks, guys. Straight up. Thanks, Joel. Straight
He's
away.
been inspirational. Set the tone from the opening minutes with that wonderful mark running back with the flight of the footy.
He's only had 5 possessions, but that's how valuable it can be without the footy in your hands.
A tone setter. Selwood just lurking off the pack, had a half chance at that ball, and the umpire will do it again. So we're down to 14 seconds. So often in sport, when you've got a hyped contest, they invariably don't live up to the hype. Well, this one is living up to the hype. It deserves a big finish from here. And you get the feeling it could well happen. Mumford knocks it down. Ball out of the congestion. Sit down. Out of bounds on the fall.
Well, danger, but Enright made it. And then again flirting in the corridor. So what a half we've seen. Record AFL crowd under the roof at Etihad Stadium. Saints kick the first 5. No Steve Johnson for Geelong. And at half-time, St Kilda lead 52-35 on Sunday footy.
And Dennis, he's done some of his best work back across half-back too. Tom Harley there on the screen. They've really been able to take his influence away from this game the way they've played in this afternoon, St Kilda. Whether or not he can get busy in this second half and help out that back line remains to be seen, but they've worked him out of the equation so far, St Kilda.
At the risk of repeating myself, let's find out now who is really number 1. Start of the 3rd term. Hangs over Gardner with the run. Blake. Selwood's got it. Oh, met solidly. But strange as it sounds, that really helped him. Got the hand pass away to Joel Corey. Goes long. A slip down there. Rook almost the mark. Raph Clark gets back just in the nick of time to Graham. Hayes is on the move. He's got it at right half back. Hayes drives it around the outer side. Beautiful kick. Gardner Gardner on the boundary line, tries to feed it back in. That was clumsy. Enright did brilliantly, got a hand to it, gave it across to Ablett. Blake, Enright again. Bartell, Chapman through midfield, clever. Chapman 55 metres out. Bacon goal line, all touched right on the line by Fisher going back. Behind.
But a promising start for the Cats nonetheless, isn't it? Schneider at half-back. Saints kicked the first 5 goals of the opening term and they kicked the first 2 goals of the second quarter. Not sure if Geelong could concede the first 2 goals here and win now. So they need to make a mark pretty early. Dawson needs a bounce. Bartell got him. Montagna, well, holding the ball. Probably just too far out. Chapman.
He's on all Bartell, hasn't he? Right across half-back, 4 inside 50s. He's had 4 tackles, 2 clearances and 23 disposals so far.
So Chapman, who just was thwarted by centimetres a moment ago on the run, you would think this could be a similar result. He's right on his limit, you would think. What a great player he is, Chappie. Kicks from 55. Not going to be a goal. And St Kilda happy to let it go through with a little push from Dawson. And Goddard to retrieve another ball to bring it back in. So the Cats in their forward 50 as we open the second half. And St Kilda turn it over. A bad kick from Fisher. Hawkins to Selwood.
Selwood gives it a lot of air. Bartell has to stretch, and that hurt. That really hurt. And it was the fault of his teammate. Don't know what Mackey's upset about. That was a terrible kick. And the little, I can see what he's upset about. The little guy stood his ground. So Bartell, I'd venture to say too far out to score. Well, Chapman can't score from here. Goes long down towards full forward. In from the side, Rook almost. Burns over the football. Bounces to his feet. Close to the boundary line, Ralph Clark. Goddard. Schneider. Plenty of time for Schneider. Needs to be precise, and he was. That was a terrific mark. Wonderful kick. Kazitsky to the wing. Graham has to wait. Flooding back now, the Saints. Schneider is one of them. Should have marked it, put it on the deck, flicks it between his legs. Harley's got it, in desperate trouble. Ablett goes in.
A few moments ago we saw Kazitsky coming right up the wing. He's done that on a number of occasions this afternoon. He's trying to drag Scarlett with him and just disrupt that Geelong back line. They've been successful.
Just handed it to Jones. And then Hayes, and Mackey taking off, should take it. He couldn't quite get to the fall of the ball. Cats with a lot of numbers. Ling's work rate, so impressive. Corey coming across from half-back. Clark should mark, decided to go safety to the boundary line. Down to you, Rick.
Just on Darren Milburn, his right ankle's very heavily shut. There he is there doing a bit of a stretch. He's just done a bit of a run through around the boundary line. You can see him there going down. He's really in pain when he does some lateral movements, so we will see him again. His output will be limited.
So keep a watch on that. Jones couldn't quite. Blake, oh, Goddard, well done. Joel Corey pushing forward. Chapman, such a hard man to bring down in the tackle. Bartell yet again. Mooney, clever. Selwood, good-looking kick. Hawkins couldn't quite. It's in good hands, though. Ablett, still Ablett. Breaks 1-2. Good tackling, though, and then Hawkins.
Oh. Gee, Ablett knew what he was doing then, but Hawkins didn't know what Ablett was doing. He actually should have made himself a target then, but he thought that Gary was going to go all the way with that ball, turned his back on it, and in the end, an attack on the goal was amounted to nothing.
He's so good with ball in hands, Ablett, isn't he? Just so hard to tackle.
I'm not sure he trusted Tom. Varco. Blake. Over the football, a lot of humanity to shift. They shifted him. Hayes to midfield. Revolt was up. Camped in front. Kelly. Bartell again. Taylor Incessant pressure from the Cats now. Oh, terrific mark. Gilbert goes back, takes the mark. Gilbert.
Sorry, Dennis, I was just about to say Hawkins then really wasn't concentrating nearly enough. He should have been aware of the fact that the ball was going to come back, had his back on play, had to turn around, and by then, the moment was lost.
Graham with the overview. Drives it along the outer side wing. Gardner was up, knocked away by Blake. Harley slips a hand pass away. Kelly tracks it back towards half-back. Now this man, Mackey, meters in the clear. Looks down towards half-forward, not sure about the kick. Ablett under pressure. Jones there step for step. Ablett's hand pass misses. Going back is Corey. Confronted. Goes to Mackey, but too late. Great running by Montagna. He sensed the danger, got across, put pressure on Mackey, and Geelong are very lucky.
The game's just opened up a little bit too in the early part of this third quarter for Geelong.
So Mackey, one put Chapman under pressure, Del Santo, and Ling with him.
That's what we've seen in St Kilda all year, though, that Geelong have pretty much dominated this first 6 or 7 minutes, but a couple of behinds is their net result on the scoreboard.
Gardner, unopposed, hooked it back to Graham, had to fish for it. Selwood so good there, and then he threw it out.
One hand throw.
It was good umpiring because he wasn't in a great position.
He didn't try very hard to disguise it though either, did he, Selwood?
Goddard got it from Del Santo. Important ball here. Revol with Taylor, and then Revol bringing it back. Kosicki and Gardner. And Gardner stands tall. Cossie's down, but Gardner's got it. And he's hurt Kosicki. He's always going to be a combative ball in board. So Gardner, who's done well kicking goals this year, 7-3 from set shots. He got a goal earlier today. That's important.
Just they've had an amazing ability all year, St Kilda, just to make it so hard for the opposition to score. And I guess Geelong have been attacking, had a couple of shots, couldn't penetrate or get a goal. And then Gardner, as he's done occasionally this year, floats into the forward line, good strong mark, used his whole 200-centimetre height, and he has been a very reliable set shot and goal.
Poor effort there by... Just a poor effort there by Blake too. He should have done more. He's a defender when he's placed at that part of the ground, and he has to defend. Straight off the ground there, Mumford back on.
Stephen King. I was going to say mixed emotions. That wouldn't be correct. Bartell trying to find a way through. The narrowest of openings. Didn't get through. So McAvoy is on the ball for what is a crucial part in this game. Mumford directs it down. Ablett taken front on by Hayes. That combination of Selwood, Ablett, and also Bartell. Perhaps all that stands between the Saints and a victory now. Varco kicks inside the forward 50. Gilbert. Mind you, it's not a bad combination. Blake. Good kick. Hands in the back, surely. Schneider gets the free.
It's been busy, Schneider.
Okay, what's Steve Baker? Move it on! Play on!
Second season with the Saints, coming from that premiership team, Sydney. Goes to Revolt at centre wing. Corey fell over. Saints can hold it up here. This is a good result for them now. Talked about Revolt's influence, not big possessions, but 2 goals, and he has staked his claim on this match.
Holding Lee Montagna, free kick. Free kick to Lee Montagna. Lee Montagna out of zone, free kick for a hold.
So against Corey Enright, Montagna had a busy first half, 14 disposals. Kosicki's on a very long lead at centre-half forward. It's gone right back to Baker. Baker's got Dawson out this side. That's the way he's going to go. So Saints patient. Good kick.
Well, Blake, Gilbert sold into trouble. Manages. Not a good kick though. Harley committed everything to taking the mark. Plays on quickly though to Kelly, who provided run over the head of Hogan. Gilbert again bounces off Hogan. Untidy hand pass behind Montagna. Gilbert goes back and does well. Made amends. Ball. Gave it across to Blake and the short chip to Gilbert. So Gilbert picked up a few stats there. Just pops it over the man on the mark, and running in behind that man is Ball. So a brief respite. Haven't had many of those. Gilbert again in the action. Beats a couple. Drives inside the forward 50. Revolt. Outmaneuvered by Taylor. That was classic.
And that's just a bloke who's got some confidence playing the ball and not playing the man. Just picking the ball in flight. Terrific defensive play.
Gets it back from Ablett. And Rook so strong in the air.
Just getting back the ball too. Just 33 minutes he played in the first half. So maybe they were saving him for a bigger second half.
Rook's kick, Corey couldn't quite take it, but he got it to Enright, to Stokes, to Ablett through the centre corridor. Back turn, Stokes, Scarlett, Mackey's wide. He's going to go with a little dinky kick. And Mackey, a lovely finisher within range.
I think it's fair to say they've got to get one of these, Geelong. They can't get any sitters, any point-blank range shots, but they've got to be able to lob one of these runs from near the 50-metre line. They just keep coming through the centre square. And Ablett's ability just to take on the tackler.
Well, it was such an important mark by Taylor, wasn't it, a moment ago, and a one-on-one with Revolt. And Mackey has struck it sweetly and kicked the goal that Geelong needed so desperately.
He's become a wonderful player, Andrew Mackey, who played most of the early part of his career as a forward, but when he's gone back into defence about 3 years ago, Geelong have hardly lost a game since he's been back there. Just a wonderful user of the ball to be able to play that third or fourth tall, great attacking defender.
The real problem, though, Lee, is they're relying on their defenders coming forward and kicking goals.
That's
they're getting absolutely nothing from their two key forwards this afternoon.
Well, I mentioned Darren Milburn's got a very heavily strapped ankle, just come onto the ground, and he's moved to full forward, unusual role for Milburn, and picked up by Blake. So I'm sure Bomber Thompson wants to try and get a goal out of him.
St Kilda got the first 5 goals of the game, led by 19 at quarter time, 17 at half time. Now it's 15. The Cats are creeping.
That says a lot too, doesn't it? Tom Hawkins is still sitting on the bench, and they prefer somebody who's injured playing as a key forward other than the man who's been earmarked to take one of those key posts for them.
Can you be unearmarked? Bounce alongside the centre circles. Mumford clatters to the ground. Lenny Hayes relishes that situation. In and under.
Thanks, guys. Straight up.
It's like a ferocious attack on the ball at close quarters. Of course, there's that great fear. If either side get into space, you're going to be in trouble.
Well done by Mumford again, down decisively. The ball guides. Chapman got it from Ablett to Stokes. That's a beautiful kick. Almost the involuntary mark there. Had he kept coming, it would have tattooed his chest.
Another 50-metre shot. Maybe the long-distance shot is what he needs to kick firmly through the footy.
Their work around the stoppages has been good this week.
Let's see what he does. Cam Mooney. The kick. The result. The roar.
To go back to that stoppage work, Lee, that was just classical stuff. That the ability to move the ball quickly by hands, a couple of quick handballs, and then get it into the open to that player that's free, has no pressure on him whatsoever, has time and space to deliver the ball. Mooney just starting deep in the forward line. And we have seen that so rarely this afternoon, not only when they've actually had the time and space to be able to get out of the stoppage itself, but when they've actually had time to deliver the ball like that.
Mooney with his first. Geelong hasn't been this close since the 4-minute mark of the opening term. Can they get within a kick by getting the next goal? McAvoy in the ruck, won by Mumford. Here is Milburn, back to Mumford. Rook's the target, over the back. Stokes becoming important. Rook to Selwood, left foot, it's going to roll, and it's going to run through for a goal. They're within a kick.
Well, isn't that exhilarating? I mean, Selwood was just fantastic. One of the things we know about Selwood, he's prepared to get knocked over as he kicks the footy. So he's prepared to actually still take the kick. He knew there was going to be a heap of contact coming. What a wonderful finish. It's been exhilarating last 2 minutes of footy.
Stokes has got his hand on the ball in the last 5 minutes too, hasn't he, a couple of times?
That one-touch footy there was as good as you'll ever see.
20 possessions for Selwood. He finished 5th in the best and fairest last season. You'd expect him to do much better this season, but bear in mind, winning the best and fairest at Geelong is a bit like winning Miss Venezuela. It's back in the middle. Rucks go at it. On the way down, Mumford knocked it down, got it again. Selwood's got it again. Feeds it wide. The Cats are coming. Taken by Burns. Floats one down towards half forward and pitches out of bounds. 3 points the difference.
They were never going to roll over, were they, St.Kilda?
No.
I mean, Geelong, they were never, ever going to just roll over and allow somebody to take the crown.
They're no longer a blur in the rear vision mirror. 2 giant cat's eyes are staring at the Saints right here. Bounce at left half forward. Geelong's attacking in. 58 plays 55. McAvoy has been tested during Gardner's break as the ball goes out towards the boundary and goes across the line. It'll be thrown in.
Talk about a blur in the rear vision. I reckon St Kilda feel like they're driving across the Nullarbor right now.
Mumford's been good too since he came back on the ground to replace Blake.
Still such a lot of footy to be played in this game. Hayes couldn't get an effective kick away. Selwood, well, what a player he is. Mackie, Corey, and Corey with a torpedo wide, in right onto it. Varco will get it. No, he goes longer. Running Mackie, and then Mackie's got Varco inside if he wants to go there. He does. Varco off one step basically, floats to full forward. Uncertain there, Graham. Stokes, Rook. Rook bashing his way through. Stokes in hard, and so was Bartell, and then Rook takes them all on. Still to come out, Goddard, Clark. The pressure almost unbearable. The kick out wide, ball, well done, Selwood. Out of play.
You just keep waiting for there just be a respite for a minute or two, but the pressure has just been there every second.
I'm sure Bryce and Marie sitting quietly at home, the Selwoods, just watching this. They've seen a bit of footy in their time. Nothing they haven't seen. Well, this is top shelf. Mumford knocked it down, stolen by Hayes to midfield and Milne. Can they get a goal? Can they stop this at the moment? It's a run. Kicks to half forward. Well done, Taylor. Sloppy by Harley. Comes to Schneider. Farron Ray goes to the pocket. Kazitsky on the lead. Okay, deep breath. Must kick the goal.
That's a great handball there from Schneider. That ball was moved all the way from the stoppage at the other end of the ground. Mumford actually tapped the ball over the back expecting somebody to be there, but it was only Hayes.
Kazitsky misses.
Just wonder how many shots the big guys are going to get now, don't you, Revolt and Kazitsky? They've got to take them they had in the first half. He'll remember this day. Be reminded at least. Taylor, after a bit of a shaky start, done very well in this turn. Corey to centre wing. Oh, good mark by Milburn, the injured one. And quickly away too, nobody on the mark. Well-weighted kick, Stokes again. talked about his contribution in this quarter. Stokes to centre half forward. Mooney front spot. Rook to help. Burns trying to get through. Handball, Ball got it almost, and then Dawson over the top. And Rook and Mooney are so important in these one-on-one contests.
Rook just plays like the ball down there. He just charges at that ball second effort, and he's just drawn a couple of stoppages when the ball may have disappeared just by charging in head first at it.
Hasn't that picture changed? Ross Lyon feeling the pressure now. Blake, was he taken high? Nope.
Can't see anything, boys.
Not good coming from an umpire, but he missed just at that moment. 30 metres out. They lock up again. Hayes, terrific stuff. Goddard to the boundary. Goes out of bounds. Ricky Olorenshaw.
Just want to keep an eye on Dennis. Gary Ablett came straight to the bench and asked the physio to work on his calf. It's complete feeling some tightness in there, but he had a bit of rub on it and just said the physio feels much better.
Gardner did well decisively. Montagna's kick, though, onto the chest of Mackey. Mackey has been good in this term. Short to Corey. There's a space for Selwood to come into. He leads, but that's ignored. Dropping in behind that space, Bartel. Oh, gee, that's a clever kick. Mooney read it pretty well too. Goes to Bartel.
Pressure.
That was a great tackle by Dawson to get Mooney down. Well, as a result of a stalemate, Geelong have got the ball. Burns, the angle opens up for the left footer, sends it long down towards full forward. Good mark, Gilbert.
Now Hawkins, I might have been a bit critical of him this afternoon, but he actually had to make an impact at that contest. There was 2 or 3 players behind, but he just had to hit bodies. I mean, Rook's been doing that in this third quarter, just making impact, hitting bodies whenever he can. As a forward, you've got to bring the ball to ground.
Gilbert's playing a wonderful game, isn't he? He got up. And now Blake. It's Gilbert to Goddard to Graham to Blake. Back to Goddard to Graham. Has to go backwards again. Geelong's thrown everything at the Saints in this term. Still hasn't got the lead. Blake to Baker. Again they retreat. Gilbert is so elusive. He's a very hard man to bring down. Out wide. Gee, that was always going to be a bit of a worry for Kazitsky. And he didn't take the mark. And Geelong have a little win.
That is a big win. Whenever you can just draw the ball, get the ball back off the opposition when they're in control back there.
Now players late getting to a contest, and I think it's Hawkins who's given away a free kick.
Scarlett's no longer coming right up the ground with Kazitsky. They're shuffling their players, so he's actually trying to stay in the back half and let Kazitsky come right up the wing.
Got Gardner deep in the forward line with Blake playing as a defender, which is not a good matchup for Geelong.
Goddard, a beautiful kick. Ralph Clark, no option but to mark. Del Santo, just get the feeling now that the Saints have found a little something. Well, Harley just missed the ball. Blake on the lead, Revolt. Less than 3 minutes to three-quarter time. Revolt's kicked a couple.
Harry Taylor just threw his arms up in the air then. It wasn't about the fact that Revolt had actually taken the mark. He couldn't do anything to stop that. He wanted somebody to come into that space and actually occupy that space, that leading space that Revolt had.
Nick Revolt off the side of the boot. This one slides across the face of goal, out of bounds on the full. Geelong ball.
So Kazitsky and Revolt both missing gettables here in this term. They haven't had too many chances to kick goals, the Saints. Chapman had to retreat. Good kick to Harley. We've seen the worst of Geelong early in this match, but I reckon we've seen the best of them too today, as they've closed this gap. Chapman. Well done by Milne. Well, that was a difficult ball for Ablett, and now he's outnumbered.
Gee, that was excellent play by Ablett to actually roll onto his back and put the ball in the air. Yeah. So there was no chance he would be pinged for falling on the footy.
A lot of fast twitch fibres in the body and the IQ to match, and here he goes again. Hawkins the target. Goes early and
He's pretty good, Gilbert.
Yeah. Blake, he ran straight at Hawkins.
I think it's a free to Hawkins, isn't it?
You look straight at Hawkins.
Well,
The Shepherd.
so Hawkins with the free.
So they did that well. I thought they disguised it pretty well, actually, then, St Kilda.
So Hawkins with a free kick. As Bruce said to Bartell, back to Hawkins. Not how they drew it up. Hawkins kicks long down towards full forward. 3 St Kilda players come to the football. And a great mark is taken by Blake.
Right there, Darren.
Here's a free kick there. Umpire saying that Blake actually leant back into Hawkins, took his run into the ball. I didn't think that was a free kick at all.
Kazitsky. Now Goddard is running. Goddard kicks beyond the wing. Revolts straight up like a jumping jack. Gets around Taylor. 55 metres out. Can Corey get back? I doubt he can.
Hasn't had a lot of the footy today. Rewald, 7 kicks, 1 handball, 8 disposals. But that's his 3rd goal, and it's just the impact he's had on the game. Taylor's done a good job in the one-on-one drills, but just that long shot outside 50, 55-metre shot, open goal. Just keeps the momentum going St Kilda's way.
And Lee Goddard's kick again. I mean, it could
Beautiful.
55 metres to Revo. He's been good to skipper. Goddard's long, beautiful kick, and then Revolt finishing it off. A little bit of breathing space late in this 3rd term. Cats made a move. Saints hold their little edge. Ablett, search for it. Chapman, Ablett.
In the back.
It's still going to be Geelong's ability to construct a forward line capable of kicking enough goals this afternoon. It's either going to win them the game.
Milburn the target. Now Gilbert's got to get back. What a game he's had. I was going to say 3rd quarter. Good tackle by Stokes. Ball still hasn't come out. Baker and Rook.
No private chinny ball.
See, that would be some battle between Baker and Rook.
Go back here. Thanks, mate. Coming through.
Gardner Blake probably won it. Jones got through. Graham. Good distance kick, actually. Revolt again. Uses Montagna. Kazitsky. It's a free kick to Cozzy.
Hands in the back. Leg your hand in his back. Pass up. Leg up.
It's getting no one can get shots from close in. There's too much pressure.
Gone short to Graham. Important ball this. Turnover. Selwood. Mooney. Is it 50? He needed it. Well, the first half was as good as it gets. And do you know what?
Couldn't mark it at the same time.
That probably went up a notch. That makes no sense at all, I know.
If you bought a ticket to this game, you got your money's worth.
Those 2 American footballers have done pretty well, haven't they? First time to the footy. So at 3/4 time, St Kilda hanging on. Geelong continue to close the margin. It's a 10-point one. It's 65-55 on Sunday footy.
Well, you don't reckon they have to earn it in that game?
Not compared to what we've seen this afternoon. You know I'm a big fan, but this has been something special. No pads, no helmets, just go at it.
Listen to that crowd.
They haven't stopped. The roof is closed, so this noise is just bouncing around. It must be so hard to play. Start of the final term on a Sunday. Saints lead it by 10. They kicked the first 5 goals of the game. Neither ruckman touched it. Ling, long break on the bench. Approaching 3/4 time, back in the action. Umpire throws it up this time. Gardner reaches over the top. Selwood won a hard ball. Rook needs to be careful. That will hurt. He was bent back. Legs underneath him. Quite dangerous.
Just fantastic, Selwood. He just forces himself to the footy in those bodies. Just forces his hands to the ball.
So Blake Gardner, Corey, the third man up. Fisher.
On the ball. Yes, no 10.
So didn't dispose of it correctly. And Rook gets an important free kick for Geelong. Low one, Chapman. And again, a 50-metre shot if he goes for it. Now plays on to get some momentum. He's corralled. Enright, Chapman. Still can't quite get the right angle. Selwood loads up. It won't be a goal. It just had to get it into the right player's hands. But seen Geelong with the ball at 50 a lot today, haven't we? Gilbert's such an important player for the Saints. Ray couldn't take the mark. They've got some numbers. Hayes, very, very good. Lovely kick to Revo. Inboard. Fisher. Hayes again. Now Kosicki wants it and he's going to find him. That's a lovely build-up. He's got players running, Cosy. Can he go the distance? Well, he has to now. He had a couple of options. They were 50-50s and he thought, I'll take responsibility.
He's got the length. It's only a matter of whether we can kick it this accurately from this long range.
About to find out. Looking good. Looking very good. He's kicked it. The Twin Towers have got 5 between them.
Yes, you're not going to get a whole lot of the football on Matty Scarlett, but he's had his 12 kicks, so that's a lot. But it was really, once the ball was moved quickly, the slight punt to go inside, which Rewald took, and then out to Hayes. With the time and space, Kosicki was able to go one way. Scarlett covered that, but then he darted back inside. But gee, the game is really going to be won and lost on these 50-metre goals, the ability to play from long range.
Wonderful kick. Everything is on the line now. Aretha Franklin sang about it. Now they're playing for it. Rucks go at it. Fell at their feet. Selwood again. Such a willing worker. Clattered in there. Del Santo flicks it out. Graham. Will the Cats buckle? It comes down towards half forward. Falling to the ground, Mackey coughed it up. Graham slams a hand pass into the path of Schneider. Getting back was the big guy Mumford. Still going was Jones. Schneider slipped over. Crawling after it, Mumford. Picked up by Goddard. Whoop, across the line, Montagna. He was caught.
Well called, Dennis. So that was outstanding play there by Mumford, the big ruckman, to chase the St Kilda play down there. I reckon he gives them a lot more momentum around the ground too, Mumford, than what Blake's been able to give them this afternoon.
Yep. Goddard from Gardner, and then Kelly over the top. Milne with a little one, a dinky one, but cut off. Just couldn't get enough on it.
Oh, came the wrong side of the post.
Behind.
So point. So obviously Taylor took the mark over the line.
Just a metre back for me, Nick.
No, he took the mark, but he backed back into the behind slot and then kicked the ball out through between the two goal posts, which means an automatic behind.
Yeah, he was well inside, thanks, Lee. So Chapman.
Thanks, Justin.
Not much room for error now for Geelong, is it? They're 3 goals down. It's been such a tight match. Just 8 goals for them in 3 quarters.
Gardner reaches over the top, knocked it down, disciplined stuff. Del Santo, Baker, Ray, now Hayes. Kicks inside the forward 50. Revolt attracted a crowd. Ball spills in front. Ling did well. Enright, Taylor. Ling under pressure. Ablett from half-back kept his head. Chapman been terrific.
Right out, guys! Right out! Right out, Gary!
It's their bottom-tier players for Geelong who haven't performed today. Straight to Gardner. There's no doubt about saying something nice about a player. What happens next? There's Montagna. Runs down towards right half forward. Centering kick. Had plenty of time. Harley.
Start at the back, please.
Haven't seen him do that much this afternoon, Tom Harley. That's normally his bread and butter, that type of kick. Coming in, a long high kick into the opposition forward line.
Taylor to Corey. Got to take chances here, the Cats, when they're coming out of the 50, and they did then. Varco up to centre wing. Corey running hard. Varco's got too much on it. Ray didn't take it cleanly, though. They rode him out of it. Varco, ball still in Varco. Toe poking to Burns. Baker takes him over the line.
One of the things you know about confident defence is if you get a chance to jump third up, they'll jump third up and mark. And Gilbert's been doing it all day, and Harley just set himself for that as well.
Hawkins, Gardner's second effort, terrific after winning the tap.
Opportunity held in. Good tackle. Thanks, Tom. This way, Tom. Coming through, guys.
Tom's got to do something. Forget about the past, live in the present. Selwood, Rook, little fumble from Ablett. Tries to fight his way out of there, taken down by Ray. Saints come away with it. Hayes kicks to the wing, hands in the back, Mackie. We've got the arm, says the umpire.
It's where Geelong have to spread. They have to choose the width across the centre of the ground, but St Kilda covering it very well.
Lead right out.
Mackie takes something off the kick. Mooney approached it rather tentatively. Burns, 65 metres out. Goes looking for Chapman on the bounce. Dragged down Bartell. Hurriedly onto the boot. Floats towards the square. Well done by Blake. Kept his head. Now Gilbert decides to run it up.
Missed the tackle.
Varco, Lee was talking about, so Ray.
Coming into this game, it was the #1 defensive side in the competition against the #1 attacking side, and we've always been taught that defence defeats attack in big games, and that's exactly how it's played out so far.
Well, I think they've had an average of about 58 points kicked against them all year, St Kilda.
They are incredibly difficult to score against.
Geelong hasn't quite got to that number yet. Baker was going to go to Hayes, decided against it. Dal Santo on the wrong side for him. That's a good kick, though, to Graham. And then Graham delivers to centre-half forward. Milne's in a very good position. His half volley was good. He slipped. And the handball not that effective. Though Fisher squeezes it. Revolt misses it. Gardner loping in. Gets a boot to it. Munford gets back. And his handball hit the behind post. And... okay, was that out in the full? So Montagna, Gardner's kicked his third. And the Saints lead by 4 kicks.
What did Ray pay?
It's been great the way he's got into the forward line, Gardner. He's always been a ruckman that likes to get in there and mark the ball.
What happened there, Lee?
Well, I think he tried, didn't he?
It's come off,
His teammate's shin.
Handballed into Harry Taylor's shin.
Well played by Montagna too, and gee, Gardner, Dennis, you asked the question about Gardner at the start of the day. He's been terrific.
Well, here's what happened. Great call by the official. Under the knee, how unlucky can you be? And Gardner, what a pronounced influence he's had. 3 goals. Some holding.
By the jumper, Jimmy Bartell.
Well, on one side, Bartell was being held. On the other, Benny Hayes was being held.
There's a big ask now. They need to kick more than 4 goals to win. They've kicked 8 in 3 quarters and a bit of footy.
Chapman against 3. Wow. Hayes. Blake. Umpire Bozo did well. Blake through midfield. Kelly. Milne. Clark. Jones. Kelly. Milburn back on the ground. Nursing a bad knee. Jones threaded out. Graham. The spiral. Nobody back. How will it bounce towards the boundary line? Kaczynski heard the call from his mate. Across the face of goal. Ball. Couldn't get boot to, you know what? A chance here for Mackie. Mackie out of defence. Finds Taylor and they build again.
Just hanging on the Cats. Enright, good mark, Chapman. Little kick from Milburn, and now Varco. Burns has got some space here. He'll attack the goal and go for it. Giving it a ride. Not a good kick. Oh, awful in the end.
So they're great though, St Kilda, that defensive unit. They'll allow you a kick from outside 50, but they just won't allow you back inside the arc.
So the biggest attendance ever for an AFL game here at Etihad Stadium, Docklands. The 10th season of footy here. Hayes to Goddard, to McAvoy, to Del Santo. Did well to McAvoy. Hayes has had a wonderful last quarter. Another good kick. Milne's got Revolt running. Can it bounce for the Roo? No. Scarlett had to get off his man. Should have been a free kick. Taylor, Kelly, Bartel. Back to Hogan, back to Bartel, back to Enright. Wanted Ablett initially. Hogan over the top. Ling needs the bounce. He gets it. Can he deliver now? Looks for Burns. Clark belts it away.
Hey, Macca, the problem's not being able to find somebody to dish the ball off to in the midfield. The problem's when they look like getting inside their forward line. There's just nobody who's breaking from their man and getting any space whatsoever.
It's amazing that Mark Thompson hasn't made at least one change in that forward line. Bartel knocks it. He's had 30 possessions, only as far as Goddard to Clark. Comes out wide. Fisher pushes Hogan across the line.
It's been a big loss, Johnson not being able to play in this game for Geelong, because he's just one more dangerous forward that St Kilda would have had to watch.
Selwood is back on the ground. Montagna on his knees. Hayes, what a game he's played. Floats it up towards the wing. Harley kept coming. Finds it on the ground. Kicks to half forward. Going back is Gilbert. Giving a contest down there was Mooney. Ricochets off Burns. Comes to Milburn. Milburn pops it up to Burns. Wonderful stuff there by Blake. Burns in pursuit. Will it stay in? Gilbert's tracking him. Gilbert got him. Wonderful despairing tackle. It comes back to Milburn. He's got it just outside the 50. Short one on the strong mark. No. Ablett put it down. Varco trying to find a way through. Hand passes towards full forward. Knocked down by Ralph Clark. Knocked out by Varco. Taken by Rook. And by hook or by crook, Rook has kicked a goal.
Oh boy, there's no easy goals today. No easy goals at all, really, from either end. And Ablett almost was able to outposition Jones to make a footy. Then it was just a question of hunt it until maybe we could get it to a forward in space. Rook was at forward, and he kicked the goal at least to keep Geelong within striking distance.
Still a chance up though, and keeps them alive. What an effort by Rook, and what pressure from both teams there. Can Geelong get an easy goal? You feel like they need one, don't they? But they're still in this match. Very much so. Blake won the tap. Ray couldn't get an effective disposal there. Bartel. Well done, Graham. Montagna running hard. Still Montagna. Good kick. Revolt on the burst. And then Revolt goes to centre half forward. Rook crashing and bashing and going for goal. Schneider and missing the lot.
That's just pressure. He actually had a bit of time there, Schneider, but well aware of the fact that he hasn't had any time or space all day. Just put the ball quickly on his boot.
So Ablett over the top. Corey Enright, danger here. Kelly's in trouble. I reckon he might be gone. No.
Didn't drag it in. No, he didn't. He actually grabbed it and went to ground, and then you tackled him. He didn't drag it in.
That's really been the story of the day. Geelong's handball just can't seem to release into a player into space. The hand pass receiver's under pressure as well.
Very open goal side here. Kelly. But lucky moments ago, Del Santo towards full forward. Getting back, Rook did well. He was tentative going at that one. The player's still uncertain about that rule.
That's all.
Brought the ball up.
Thanks, Steve. Thanks, Steve.
And Andrew Mackey's got the Rewald matchup just for the time being. Maybe just Taylor's just having a spell.
Wrong end of the ground here for the Cats. Spills out of the pack. Little 1-2 there from Hogan across towards Selwood, taken by Ablett. Chapman set a task. Hasn't got the football. Still oodles of time, just under 10 minutes.
So Chapman to Mackey.
That's hard running.
Del Santo's got him. Play on call. Baker to try and fetch it. He can't. His leg, surely.
Back. Advantage.
So advantage to the Saints. Gilbert, good kick. Kaczynski up the ground. That's not such a good kick.
Oh, well done.
No, Bartel. He's played one of the best games of his career, the Brownlow medalist. It's 50 against Schneider, I think.
It'd have to be just inside 50 from that.
So Bartel will take the kick.
The Rays are saying that wasn't disposable.
I think they would have been much better without the 50-metre penalty as it turned out, because it was like broken play and Geelong, there was a lot of free players.
I reckon you might have had your hands up in the air, whereas you had them in, okay.
Just outside his range again here too, Bartel, so they're going to have to find another kick, another target inside 50. And this is where St Kilda have been so great all afternoon defending.
Well, he uses Chapman. He tries a spiral, doesn't get onto it. Gardner falling over, it's a goal! It's gone all the way!
Just amazing. Just amazing how many goals have had to be kicked from difficult situations, because there's hardly been, no one's really from either side's been really able to mark the ball 15 metres out, and they're point blank shots. So this one has totally come from nowhere.
He didn't even get onto it, Luke.
That was a slippery turn. That was a slippery turn.
It wasn't a good spiral, it just was an up-country punt.
Oh, the irony. Gardner, victim to the slippery turf. It's back in the middle. 12-6, 10-7. 9 points the difference. For other 11. Getting excited. Chapman goes back. Still thinking about his good fortune. Corey is running off half-back. Down the throat of Mooney. And Mooney hung on.
No, hold it. No, hold it. Don't do anything silly, right?
There's
There's enough force, mate, okay? Let's go back here on the 50, thanks.
8 of the 22 goals have been kicked from outside 50, and we saw Cam Mooney unload one before. His kicking action is often better when he knows he has to really kick the ball hard.
Umpire Vozzo channeling Dr. Phil. Here comes the kick from Mooney. Long bomb. Right on the line, knocked forward. Goal umpire says, goal!
Well, Lee, your call was great there, because earlier in the game when he did have that long kick, he went back, he kicked hard. I reckon he spends too much time worrying about what he's going to do when he's within about that 30-metre arc. But on that occasion, he just went back, he launched into it. Beautiful movement, too, from the centre square there. That handball from Chapman to Corey into space, that set the goal up.
So much time suddenly, isn't there? Geelong with 3 quick goals. And that deafening roar gets... Oh! Even Loudy threw it, Clark. Chapman off the ground. Burns, good pick-up. Hayes onto him. Ablett in hard. Baker's little give, terrific. Jones, good. Hayes, so good in this turn. Low kick, lovely kick. Revolt. Kaczynski's on the burst. Revolt goes over the top. That's a lovely kick to Milne.
Oh boy, how's that context on that half-back flank? I mean, just the intensity and the effort. St Kilda won it.
He doesn't love set shots, Milne, does he? He's happiest when he's snapping and running. 5 goals, 6 from set shots this year. It's floating and wobbling. It's a goal.
It was an interesting situation. They went through for a goal, but that's a situation where the opposition ruckman, as in Gardner, has to be down there on the goal line, because as it turned out, we see the beautiful flowing play, great kick by Rewald, but this ball just floated, and Mumford just about touched it. And if he had, I think St Kilda would have been really disappointed that Gardner wasn't there to protect the ball on the way through.
10 kicks, 1 goal. Stephen Milne back out to 11 points. Can the Cats find something again? Mumford straight down to Hayes. Hayes towards half forward. Revolt got a hand to it. Geelong, no margin for error now. Well done, Kelly. Soccer off the ground, Corey. Diving after the football, Montagna. Fed it to McWalter. Goals beckon. Del Santo misses. That's Australian for oops.
Selwood again held up in the tackle. Chapman to Rook.
Well, they're out here.
Bartell's on. Bartell's got a panic.
Got the numbers here. He's got to carry it.
Goes low with a beautiful kick to Milburn.
Sam, 1 metre back here.
He just thought his way through it brilliantly, Bartell, didn't he?
Yeah, and then he had the ability to
2 metres
execute
that
the
way.
kick too. It was a
One more
long,
that way.
hard, low, flat
Fine.
kick. It had to get there quickly.
those
Gilbert was
legs-
closing quickly.
Those legs had to be aching, Tim.
They must be just about out on their feet, some of these players.
Good move by Bomber to put Milburn to full forward. Not sure the last time he kicked 2 goals in a match, but he's got it now. Geelong come again.
And Milbourne's kicked the goal and Bartel set it up. And what about that Selwood brush off at halfback? That's what created the movement. The St.Kilda tackler had hold of him. But Selwood got clear, and then when that open space was created, it was a question. Then they had the extra player in there. Geelong was a matter, could they think their way through? Kick to the right bloke in there, and Bartel made all the right decisions.
They say dead cats bounce. I think that's what we've seen this afternoon.
9 lives, Tim.
And Mark Thompson stayed loyal for a long time to Tom Hawkins, but he had to make that move. And suddenly Milburn has produced a couple of goals. Back in the middle, Bartel, Sublime, Ling, Corey. Wide to Selwood. 4 names that really hurt any opposition the moment they hear them. The kick goes down towards the pocket. Out of 5th. Ablett lurking. Applies a tackle on Gilbert. It's out of bounds. Boundary throw in.
Watching it the whole time, you just fell over.
I don't think the umpire was watching it the whole time. I think Ablett would have got the free if the umpire was watching the contest in front of the footy.
Hayes, yet another clearance in this last quarter. Mackie worked to the front. Corey, 3rd man up. Revolt important. Goddard's normally a beautiful kick because he needs the
Good pick
bounce.
up.
He did well. Goes back. Right thing to do. McWalter. Hayes tied. Very tied. Brought down. Wonderful tackle by Selwood. And then another good tackle by Montagna.
That clearance at the other end, we saw that in the 3rd quarter where they tapped the ball over the back in the forward pocket. Hayes has been sitting there all afternoon just waiting for it. They actually palmed the ball back down to him again.
He's had 10 clearances, Lenny Hayes.
Been outstanding. Gardner only as far as Chapman. Advantage is paid. Lingers away. A goal to level the scores. Cats are surging. Ling in midfield. Mooney on the lead. Man on the flank. Stokes wants the football. Give it to him. Goes wide. Stokes has got it now. Open goal. Scores a tide. And the tide is rolling for the Cats.
He did it again, Selwood. He's untackleable. If that's a word. I mean, twice. He's actually, he was nailed in the center, that one there. But he got the ball clear. And as soon as he's actually got his tackler out of position, then all of a sudden the flow happens. Geelong had the spares in and Mooney was able to find Stokes.
This was a clinical finish though too by Stokes.
Yep.
Just steadied himself, composed himself. What about a celebration?
No, I'm tingling and I'm not playing.
He wishes he was. He's had a foot in both camps over the years, King. Well, maybe we will have 2 unbeaten teams at the end of the day.
Yes.
They've led for 113 of the 115 minutes, St.Kilda. Geelong's never been in front. Bartel again. Inside 50. Mooney. Well, Lee, you talked about Mooney. And
I was going to say about Bartel. Bartel may have had games where he's had more possessions, but I don't think he's had more influence ever in a game of football.
No,
he has just been magnificent.
Seeing the Brownlow medalist at his best, aren't we? Gardner won the tap. Hayes held on to it.
I mean, sometimes stats don't mean a lot, but if you've got the ball in your hands today, you've earned it.
Revolt continuing to work in this last quarter. And Hayes and Revolt have combined a number of times in this fourth term.
Gilbert has been so good. Blake up towards half-back.
Clark in the middle.
Clark now. Open forward line. Kazitsky's on the move. Attracts the football. Scarlett goes with him. Kazitsky was held. No free kick. Charging in there, Milne. Ball squirts out. Mackey to Milburn to Enright. Oh, Mumford. Oh, Mumford did well. Kelly. Chapman. Not again. Don't ask it twice. Mumford was in trouble.
Now
Chapman.
they're clear. Now they're out.
Mackey. This place is going ballistic. Around the outer side. Hogan goes down towards half forward. Opportunity in front. Blake went to ground. Goddard kept his head. Ball's got the footy to half forward. Jones against the boundary. Pulsating stuff. End to end. Throwing himself at the football is Nick Revolt.
Just that work rate. Revolt to full forward. Milne almost. They need a score. Mackey. Blake, well, the big guys are being asked some big questions, aren't they? Blake's handball to Mackey, to Enright. Oh, 3 minutes to go. Scores are level.
They're out on their feet.
Ablett did very well. Fisher gets back. Good tackle. Rook brings him down. Ablett's taken down. In hard Rook. Corey with Clark. Free kick to Corey. The advantage is given, I think. Play on. Varco brought down. Bull's got him. McWalter works. Back to Blake. Back to McWalter. Jones. Big call by the umpire there. And then Jones at half back. Down the line. Revolt and Taylor. Ball bouncing. Still in. Taken by Milburn. Little handball. Back to Chapman.
They can barely pick their legs up. Taylor to half forward. Three Saints working at the back, Fisher.
Not one Geelong forward moved then to the ball. They just couldn't.
Goddard. This deserves a draw.
Now it's a game of keeping side because it's broken play. There'll be teammates clear. Just must hold possession.
Gorse into Del Santo. Gilbert involved earlier. Montagna's got it on the wing. Over the shoulder. No 50.
Ball's free here too.
Montagna. Always dangerous with the ball in his hands. Goes to Luke Ball. Dropping back is Revolt. It's in his ballpark. Gardner! The giant from the west. The cat is down. He hasn't moved. Well, he is moving slightly. That's Harry.
Harry Taylor.
Hawks, go through. Chamber, go through, mate. Chamber, go through the inside. No, the other way, mate. Chop out.
The runner just going out there and telling the Geelong players how long there is to go of this last quarter as well, so they'll know they've got one last chance to launch a scoring opportunity should this be a goal. So it was an elbow to his head there. I mean, that was a heavy, sickening crash there from Gardner.
Harry seems to be on top of things, just taking his own mouth guard out. Hopefully he's okay. What a marvellous mark it was by the giant from the west. Another West Australian paying the price. So you get the feeling Gardner will kick his 4th goal, and if he does, Geelong have a minute 20.
I was going to say, Tim, pointing it out, every player on the ground now knows how long there is to play, don't they?
It's a good point.
They're both huddling too. They're all in there in a group, just talking about what they need to do to play this game out. St Kilda will know that once they kick this goal, all they'll need to do is just get behind the ball and close down the space.
It's a risky business, though, against such quality opposition, such fleet-footed opposition, isn't it? Big decision for the coaching staff. Do you close it down or do you push on?
No, you close it down now, Dennis. At this stage of the game, you put your nose in front and you just close it down.
So Taylor taking plenty of care here. And for Gardner, it's a bit like having a 4-foot putt and not being able to finish it off and coming back the next day, isn't it? I mean, we've given him the goal, but he hasn't quite kicked it yet.
A rain delay, Bruce. A rain delay at the Dome. This has had everything. So Gardner has had plenty of time to think about this. Taylor is off the ground. Ross Lyon willing this kick through. If he kicks it, you doubt St Kilda can lose. He's kicked it.
That's been a really valuable contribution by Gardner, those 4 goals. And basically, generally speaking, ruckmen are poor defenders. They haven't really got the speed to go with their direct opponent. Again, we've seen King, basically Blake, basically looking sort of real defensively. If your opponent jumps, you've got to jump yourself. But Blake just didn't quite have the speed to get in there. And when Gardner launched himself at it, he's kicked some very valuable goals.
So down to a minute. It's Gardner's 30th birthday today and he's kicked 4. Saints all going back behind the ball. It's a great shot of it. Geelong need every bit of luck they can get now. Del Santo hacks it forward. Revolt, well done, Mackie. Pressure, Hogan, just his 2nd match. Montagna cuts it off. Little give. Free kick.
Geelong through.
Oh, so technical against Milne. So Kelly to Corey. And Corey wide. To Corey Enright. This is the last roll of the dice. Mumford to Enright. Enright to half forward.
Mooney uses his body illegally. So now St Kilda will just kick it around. Geelong racing back to pick up the men.
Geelong have been good enough to get back to make sure he has to kick it over the man on the mark.
Kazitsky close to the boundary line. Gardner rises like a colossus. We talked about him before the game. Attack them at their weakness. But although Mumford's been okay, St Kilda win.
A match of the ages.